Scorpio. Hello and welcome to your summer 2025 shapeshift reading. We're looking at the shape you're shifting out of, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shapeshift looks and feels like for the summer season. I'm Andy, I'm your reader, and we are joined today by the Unveiled Tarot, a new deck by comic artist Jesse Lonergan. All right, Scorpio, let's get into it. Let's see, what is the shape Scorpio is shifting out of this summer season? Yeah, I saw this in the shuffle and thought, oh, that's probably it. And here we have it, the Wheel of Fortune. Shown here. So the whole premise with this deck is that there's like a window in each card that lets you into a different version of the story, or like unveils a different truth. And so here we see somebody at the roulette table, but actually it's the Wheel of Fortune surrounded by all of these like gods and goddesses through the ages, these emblems, symbols of fortune. So, okay, very interesting. Tell me more about Scorpio's shapeshift this summer. Yeah, I don't think this needs to come out, but you might want to watch the Virgo reading. The King of Pentacles is here, and I don't think it needs to come out because it's giving the same message, just maybe in a different context. We have the CEO at the head of the meeting, the business table, but actually in the unveiled window, we see that he's like gambling. Interesting. This like gambling thing. The thrill of like testing or trying your luck. Okay, show me more about Scorpio's shapeshift. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, I wonder about this. I guess there's just this question of like, what are you navigating by? Because we have this, well, I guess let's just look at it together. I kind of want to see if anything else is supposed to come out, but I think this might be it. Yeah, no, okay, it's just nonsense. All right, so Wheel of Fortune at the center is this major arcana card indicating change. It's indicating like turns of fate. It's indicating sort of like things beyond your control. And then we get two royals, which are really talking about like things that are more in your control because they're parts of your personality or like ways, states of being in the world that you could choose to embody or not. And so on either side of this Wheel of Fortune, you've got the Knight of Cups, which interestingly also has this wheel and is kind of bicycling in this maybe a little unusual, navigating in this unusual way, but holds that cup of love or that cup of the emotional waters of the heart. And so there's this idea of navigating, moving from the heart. And then on the other side, there's this Queen of Pentacles that is full Queen Elizabeth opulence on the outside, but is like strict business person on the inside, like business suit on the inside. And so there's this sort of like, do I navigate a little eccentrically, like by navigating from the heart with the Knight of Cups? Or do I sort of go with this very like strict, disciplined, practical approach that could like help me keep a more opulent station or like status or experience? And then there's the thing in the middle, which is the Wheel of Fortune, which indicates like much of that question could be beyond your control. And so if you have this question of like, do I navigate from my heart or do I keep it like tight and practical? Then the Wheel of Fortune is like, roll for it. You know, like, I don't know, roll for it, see what happens. Or it's also saying like there could be turns of events, like things beyond your control, that will move you in such a way that like you can't really decide that actually. And then as if to emphasize that, we got the Hanged one, the Hanged Man, sort of keeping things in limbo. So I guess, Scorpio, there's certain things that are beyond your control and there's certain things that are within your control. And this reading is so far not very helpful in helping you discern which is which, but maybe we'll get into it furthermore. So I'm gonna grab the Dark Exact Tarot now by Coleman Stevenson. Let's see if we can get a little more clarity here for Scorpio. I mean, this is sort of a major moment here, it looks like, with the Wheel of Fortune and the Hanged Man. It's sort of this moment where maybe you feel like everything's kind of hanging in the balance and the wheel of fate is about to turn for you. Circumstances beyond your control are kind of like about to shift. And maybe it's saying like all you can really do is navigate from the heart, like keep moving with your heart and from your heart. And maybe it's like, hey, also though, like keep it tight, Queen of Pentacles, so that you can like keep enjoying the material things that you enjoy. So maybe it's both, I don't know. Let's get some more details here on this shapeshift for you, Scorpio. Please clarify the Wheel of Fortune and the Hanged Man. That's too much. But the Queen of Pentacles was on the bottom of that. Okay. Yeah, the Four of Cups is coming out. So maybe this is like your emotional state is feeling sort of like you're waiting for something to drop, or like waiting for, I don't know, the Four of Cups to me can be a state of like boredom, melancholy, emotional detachment, maybe even just like sadness, just feeling out of sorts, feeling sort of like you're waiting for something good to click or something to happen. So maybe that's reflective of the Hanged Man energy. Let's look at the Wheel of Fortune more. Okay, why is the Wheel of Fortune here for Scorpio? Okay. Yeah, you're waiting for bigger things beyond you. Seven of Pentacles is the card of waiting. Great. So here you are kind of waiting. The Seven of Pentacles is also a card of like patience for things to come to fruition. It's like you've planted the seed, you can't expect it to turn into fruit immediately. You kind of have to have the patience to keep tending it, keep cultivating it. And then over time, you'll start to reap the benefits. Okay, so that's interesting. Kind of two cards indicating that like you're waiting for something to happen. And then this setting of like the roulette table is almost like, come on, sevens, you know, or like, come on, this, like waiting, almost like waiting to win the lottery. And then the Emperor is here, showing an image of like leadership and strength and taking charge, being in power, being in control. Interesting to imagine that you could be in control of the roulette table, of the Wheel of Fortune, which you are not. None of us are. So that's sort of interesting. So maybe this is sort of like we are all at this like collective, yeah, Ten of Pentacles wants to come out under Queen of Pentacles. trying to keep the level of like whatever wealth you have accumulated, or like security and support and stability that you have. I think you're really trying to keep that, maintain that, keep working towards those goals of, in particular, I'm just getting like a lot of like wealth and opulence, but maybe through like secretly frugal means. You know, it's like this very ornate Elizabethan gown, but inside is like a very plain clothed, like frugal, buttoned up approach that sort of like is internally driving that opulent exterior. So there could be something here about like playing things a little conservatively, especially financially, materially speaking. Frugal, attain something about like attaining opulence through frugality. So maybe the Wheel of Fortune and the Hanged Man are kind of talking about these like through lines that are happening as like background of your life. Like the larger picture of your life is you're sort of waiting for something, all of the seeds that you've planted to come to fruition, but they haven't done that yet. And I think, and maybe you're feeling a little like doldrums or a little like melancholy in the meantime while you're like hanged man waiting for that to hit, for them, your luck to come in basically. And maybe there's a part of you that sort of is tempted to try to control that, or like control that fate. And you there, I guess like the cards are saying you do have some sort of power, like we have an emperor here and we have a queen. So it's like there is power, you have power to some degree to affect the outcome of your life, especially materially. Like it's acknowledging that. And it is also like giving us this story of opulence attained through frugality being like, I don't think that's like a generally helpful social narrative, but maybe specifically for someone, like being pretty conservative with your money may actually help you to attain your larger goals. 10 of Pentacles. Okay, give me some more clarifiers on the Knight of Cups. What's that about? 6 of Cups. Yeah, kind of longing for the past, or like a bit of nostalgia, wanting things to go back to like a simpler emotional time. Okay, 6 of Swords. So we have the 6 of Cups and then the 6 of Swords. So, and the 6 of Swords is a card of moving on. The 6 of Cups is a card of the past. So maybe there is actually something in the past that you're kind of ready to rise above or ready to move on from emotionally. Okay. Is there anything else about this Queen of Pentacles? Okay, Page of Wands. Actually, there's like this opportunity to get pretty creative here in this space. So that's sort of interesting. It's like, okay, I think we need one more card and then we can look at this together. Page of Swords, there's insights to be had in this limbo space, or maybe even like learning. Like this is a time where you're still learning certain things. You're still kind of, okay, let's look at it together. All right, so we have the center line of the Wheel of Fortune and Hanged Man, which I think is the larger picture maybe of where you feel like you are in your life right now, which is waiting for your luck to hit. You've planted a lot of seeds, you've put in a ton of work, and you're just here like cultivating and not really like hitting the big time like you're hoping to. And so you're wondering like what of that is out of your control and what of it is in your control. And maybe it's got you feeling kind of 4 of Cups down and kind of just like waiting, why won't my ships come in kind of thing. And the Page of Swords is reminding you that you're still learning. Whatever this is that you are working towards, and like maybe it's like financial planning or like some like new career or whatever, like you're still learning. Or maybe it is about love and romance for some folks. Like you're still in the learning phase. You're a student, Page of Swords. There are like insights and messages and things for you to get, concepts for you to get that you still haven't gotten. And so maybe that's part of why you're still in this like hanged man limbo cultivating phase, because there's still more for you to learn. You are not yet the emperor or the queen. You're the page. You're still learning. That's why things are kind of feel like they're in limbo or like they're tied up in some way, because there's still things for you to learn here in this limbo space. And as you work towards this like Elizabethan gown level opulence that you are desiring, that's your 10 of Pentacles goal. It's sort of realizing that you achieve that. And now I'm seeing all the pentacles around her collar as the pentacles in the archway. That's kind of cool. It's like you could achieve that queendom, but it is showing like small steps at a time, because we're looking at pages. These 2 pages clarifying this like queen energy. It's sort of saying you're not queen yet. So like take it one step at a time. Just keep planting those seeds. Keep laying each stone. It's that sort of thing. And some like conservative, learning to manage your money maybe a little more conservatively, and like frugality could be a piece of that puzzle. And then there's this whole other thing, honestly, that feels kind of separate, although it could be linked for you, which is more of an emotional thing. It feels like Knight of Cups. There's this level of maturing that you're doing where like you're also, while you're doing this like wealth building, you are also learning to navigate from the heart and like finding the balance between the practicality and the wealth building and the navigating from your heart's natural flow. And so with the 6 of Cups being a card of like childhood or nostalgia or the past, and the 6 of Swords talking about moving on, there is something about moving on from the past emotionally, or maybe even just like emotionally maturing in this way that will help progress you towards that Queen of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles goal that you desire. And while you're here learning, Page of Swords, maybe there's some like more creativity that you could get into with the Page of Wands, because the Page of Wands is also kind of learning or new at something, but is taking a more creative and like passionate and inspired approach than the Page of Swords, who is simply like looking at data and information gathering and like trying to learn the facts. So there is, while you are giving this advice to kind of take a conservative, maybe frugal approach, there's plenty of information to learn, and there's plenty of creativity to be found or to be learned maybe in this space as well. And all of this is somehow part of like a little bit of an emotional maturity, like learning curve that is progressing you forward towards your, I just keep wanting to say like goals of opulence. But to be fair, this doesn't progress you all that fast. The bicycle, you're pedaling, it's work. But the big wheel and the little wheel kind of indicates that maybe you'll get there a little unconventionally, and that could be where some of that creativity comes in. So it's sort of like this whole reading is like both and. It's like, do I have any power to affect my fate? Yes and no. Am I approaching my goals creatively from my heart or practically from my brain? Yes, both. And this is kind of where you are in the limbo middle, starting to kind of learn that and figure that out. And it's like, it's tricky terrain to navigate because you're just putting in the work and planting all the seeds and not seeing all of the rewards that you're hoping for. But there's a certain amount of trust in what you're building that is required to build the 10 of Pentacles. And isn't this something that we've been talking about? I don't think it was your spring reading, but it might have been your winter reading that was like talking about building, what you are building. So maybe go back and revisit that. Okay, Scorpio, let's finish up your reading with a little word from the postcards from the liminal space for Scorpio this summer. Very, yes, amazing. I mean, didn't we just like ask a question and the answer was yes? The answer is both. Yes, navigate from your heart, navigate creatively, and navigate frugally and practically and the answer is yes to both. Okay, so that's really cool. And it also feels like a real affirmative towards your goals and towards what's possible for you. Love that. What else for Scorpio? Yeah, exactly. A magician is only as good as their tools. You are gathering your tools, Scorpio. You're refining them. You haven't totally secured or mastered or whatever your toolkit. Like, you want to be the magician, but you're still the apprentice. So it's that sort of thing where like, consider yourself a learner, consider yourself still in the tool gathering stage, and always be learning, always be sharpening that toolkit. And you'll get there, you'll progress faster and faster as you like refine how you are working and what you are working with, and even like who you are working with and how you're working with them. Anything else? I mean, honestly, I don't think there's anything. I just think this whole reading is very affirmative, and it's very, yeah, elevate, totally, yes, yep, you're elevating, that's it. You are moving on, you are sort of like lifting up your perspective and your mentality. You are learning more, which is sort of like raising up your, what is possible for you to achieve. Yeah, so be it. Amazing. And even, okay, let's look at it together. So elevate to me is actually, it's actually such a status thing. So I want to put it with the Knight of Cups, but I also want to put it with the Queen of Pentacles. The Knight of Cups, because that sword in the Six of Swords is elevating. It's like you're maturing, you're going up a level, emotionally speaking. And then, but also maybe like in wealth or status, because of the way that like you progress from the Knight to the Queen. That's an elevation. And that's a yes. Okay, so your material goals that you're focusing on, there's a lot of yes to that. And there's also a lot of, hey, Hanged Man, Four of Cups, Page of Swords, you are an apprentice. You are not yet the magician. So continue to gather, learn, and sharpen, refine your toolkit. And then we have Wheel of Fortune. Hey, listen, you are an active participant in your fate right now. And also it is beyond, there are things happening beyond your control. So keep planting the seeds, Seven of Pentacles, that you've been planting. And then that's an echo with this 11-cent coin, so be it. Because the work you are putting in is part of the magic. And then there's another part of the magic that is beyond you that you can't see and that you have to kind of trust. Okay. Amazing reading. I love it for you, Scorpio. It's just so affirmative. It's like, you're good, you're good, you're good. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't get ahead of yourself. Stay the student. Recognize that you're the apprentice. You're working towards this Queen of Pentacles goal. But you're not there yet, and you're not supposed to be. You're still learning. You're still planting seeds. You're still casting spells. You're still like working with these new tools. So be working with them, and it will happen. But You'll get out of this hanged limbo. At some point, the wheel has to stop and the roulette ball has to land. And then you'll spin again. You know, and it's just like, keep trying. Keep trying. Yes. Yes. Okay, Scorpio, I hope this was helpful. Happy summer. If you need me, you know where to find me. Take care.